The Huskers came into Saturday seeking revenge, and it was revenge they got. The defense played an amazing game. Week 1, they had a safety. Week 2, a pick 6 by the Blackshirts. We'll break down the 28-10 win and look forward to UNI. Sean Callahan will have recruiting news, including a new Husker recruit on the trail. It's all coming up next on Big Red Wrap-Up. Hi, everyone. I'm Michael Severe, and welcome to Big Red Wrap-Up on Nebraska Public Media. 2 games down and 2 wins in the books for Coach Matt Rhule and the 2024 Huskers. Joining us tonight, former Huskers, Jay Moore and Damon Benning. I know it was fun because every single person I talked to said it was the best time they had in a long time. Was it like that for you?
Yes. Excuse me for my raspiness still, because I had a blast. I mean, just from the scene before the game, during the game, after the game, I mean, the energy, the weather, I mean, just the result in that first half alone. I haven't enjoyed a game like that in a long time. I mean, listen, I've been a part of some nice wins against Colorado in my career. I know DB has well.
Yeah.
Especially that 05 win out there in Boulder. That was as much fun, and that was I had just almost as much pleasure as that 05 win as that first half I had on Saturday.
I said this to you yesterday. Very rarely do you see the first 3 plays of a game and know, okay, I know exactly how this game's going to go.
Yeah, it was interesting. You know, people asked me what I thought was going to happen, and I said the only thing that scares me is it can't be as easy as
it looks.
Colorado can't block Nebraska.
It was.
It was as easy as Colorado couldn't block Nebraska. It was incredible how Colorado was quicker to make adjustments defensively before they made adjustments offensively. That was a tail kicking.
Yeah. Well, the adjustments they would have had to make offensively was to call some other people to come down and get on the offensive line.
Yeah, they needed to have about 13 guys on offense and 2 of them on the offensive line. That was the biggest key for me in this game was can Nebraska get home with 4 and 5 tops, and they did. I mean, those front 4, those front 3 guys, and obviously you're bringing the guys off the edge. I mean, they dominated all game. And it was from the first play of the game. I mean, you saw Ty get up there and get a sack, but they couldn't do much. I mean, Shedeur was uncomfortable. The volume of the fans that they had a hard time communicating, couldn't run the football. So that was the biggest key, and they hit the nail on the head. It was their ability to get home and leave 6 or 7 in the back end to cover that stable of wide receivers, and it was game over. Once we knew we could get home with 4, I mean, I think on 22 dropbacks, Nebraska only brought of 19 of them, only 4 guys came.
Yeah,
and that's big time right there. That's how you handle an offense like that.
They have to lead the country in tackles for losses and havoc plays via the pass without bringing plus pressures. I saw the stats last week, and it was in the 27th percentile. They only brought pressure. I wish they would be a little more accurate, right? Because bringing 1 more than 3 is not plus pressures.
Right,
You're
still
bringing
-1.
only 1
Right.
less than they can block. So Nebraska's ability to get home with 4 or less has been incredible.
I saw 12% if you're talking about 5 rushers.
Yeah.
When you're subbing in Jamari Butler and James Williams or Prince Umamewela, that's not fair.
Yeah.
You know, and you put that against, MJ Sherman, who's playing the best football of his Husker career.
Yeah.
And then the tears in the middle. It's a lot to handle.
And what they do well, and they might count as a +1, is Nebraska linebackers do a good job of pressure rushing.
Well, they show.
When a back steps up in pass protection, they know he's not coming out the route, they go.
Yeah.
Right? And that happened on the
Bears. He's the master of.
And that happened on the pick 6, and that's what a play I'll go through later. But that's what he did. The back stays in with the tight end. They keep 7 in there. Only 3 go out in the route, and he pressures rush up the middle with Sherman coming on the back end. I mean, they do it. They got it timed up, and it's a thing of beauty.
If you want to say development tape, right, they should just take Mekhi Bayer's tape from when he got here to where he is now. He is such a great player right now.
Well, I think I usually pick a coach a year to fall in love with, and this year it was tough, but I went with Dvorak.
Yeah.
And I think it's for multiple reasons. I think he's had the least to work with. Since he's been here, not as star-studded of guys, and that's zero disrespect. He just hasn't got the highly touted guys. He's getting guys that are converted, and what he's done with Bayer has been incredible. He was almost left for dead by the former staff.
Right.
Dvorak's done a fantastic job. John Bullock, who for months, as you know, was my was my breakout player of the year. I said it all summer. I'm going to keep banging that drum. He's all conference caliber, potential to be a Sunday guy. And then he's bringing along guys like Shavers and Stephon Thompson, who will be pressed into action, at least in the first half,
right,
with Bear having to sit.
Yeah, Bullock had a drive where he had a batted ball, a tackle for loss, and forced the sack.
He single-handedly ruined that drive.
He did, by himself.
Nebraska had to give it up in the third quarter.
It's really incredible to think about. There's a lot to cover tonight, and we can't do it without you. We have our phones standing by. We promise they work this week again, and we're ready for your calls. If you prefer, you can also text or email us to send your comments or questions to bigred@nebraskapublicmedia.org. We're also monitoring the social media accounts tonight as well. Send us your thoughts on Big Red Wrap-Up Facebook page or X account, and we'll answer as many of your questions as we possibly can. Also, don't forget to head over to our website and download your copy of the 2024 Nebraska football schedule poster. You can print those off for your home or office and keep up to date throughout the season with all the scores, including the first 2 games with UTEP and Colorado. Time for our sideline survey. Last week we asked you, in Saturday night's telecast, what would we see the most? 53% of you said shots of Coach Prime on the sidelines, 33% said Nebraska touchdowns, 9% said commercials with Coach Prime, and 5% said mentions of how many transfers Colorado has, which was mentioned a lot. Now, for this week's all-new sideline survey, Nebraska returned to the AP Top 25 for the first time since 2019. Does the ranking fit this Husker team? Is it too low? Is it too high? Just right? And doesn't matter until November 5th. 48% right now saying just right. Time for the top plays from Saturday's game against Colorado, as voted on by you. Number 3, and this was a big one because it's what led to really most people saying the game is over. It was Brian Boom Cheney kicking it all the way down as it bounced out at the 2-yard line. Gets down there, didn't even need real help because it was going to go out on its own.
Did you see who downed it?
Who is it?
The guy who
Oh, Tommy Hill. That's crazy.
Another play later.
That's crazy. Of course. And then our number 2 play is Ramir Johnson, the juggling tight end. This is only one of 2 turnover-worthy plays that Raiola's had this season yet. And of course, sometimes, Damon, what do you need to have?
A little luck.
A little luck. It just happened to be Nebraska's night right there, bouncing her. But he stayed with it too. And then number 1, the man that Damon was just talking about, and I know this play will be broken down more as we go along, Tommy Hill, his pick 6 to make it 14-0, and essentially felt like, in a way, it ended the game.
Yeah, 100%. Lot of pressure. I'm sure Jay will get into it with Bear and his late pressure, but the play was really made by Bullock.
Yeah, you talked about it before the play.
Yeah.
You said simply, if he takes away that slant, then he's going to have to go someplace else. And Tommy Hill saw the same thing.
Yeah, I think people they kind of knock Shedeur for arm talent. That's not an arm talent thing. I panicked.
Yep.
And I can't be late to the field on a hitch, right?
Like, it's just too long of a throw.
It's just too long. We've seen him throw those over routes, those sail routes. I don't worry about his arm talent. I just think he panicked.
Yeah.
At that particular stage in the game, I know it was early, but he was clearly seeing ghosts.
Yeah. I was listening to actually Johnny Manziel talk about it, and he said, I've been there. I've been in that situation where I just don't know what to do, and I just throw it. And that's what happens.
Well, yeah, because he was getting pressure from the backside. MJ Sherman had a fantastic rush.
Yeah.
I mean, if the ball doesn't get picked off, I mean, they easily could have got a safety for holding in the end zone.
Yep.
But that's what
How
happens.
good has MJ Sherman been?
Yeah, he's been
Playing great.
Quietly.
What we
he has
thought
been
last year
fantastic.
he became.
He's finally in elite level shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks amazing.
But on that play, and I'll break it down as well, but you only have 3 guys in the route. They had 6 in coverage.
Yeah.
So Tommy Hill had no work. He just could sit there and play vision on the QB and play flat-footed and just read it perfectly. And it was a long throw. I mean,
you don't have to play it honest.
Right.
When you can't run the ball.
Right.
You had one quarterback who was seeing ghosts. The other, I say it over and over, poise. That's the word for him. You know, Dylan is just a poised guy. And really, if you start counting him up, he's somewhere in the top half, top quarter of the Big Ten as of right now.
Yeah, listen, I clearly think he's the answer.
Yeah.
So
whatever the question.
We can't just, players, coaches, they can't be the question, right? Like, he's the answer. He is wise beyond his years. I think I would venture to guess his only other turnover-worthy play was the other ball laid over the middle against UTEP.
Yep.
Before he hit the touchdown pass.
Yep.
So his ability to bounce back is incredible, as is his control. Getting in and out of plays and setting protection is ridiculous. Now, if I have one minor criticism, a little too much air on the ball sometimes. I'd like to just put it on him, like an on-him ball. The one to Lloyd, even the second one to Lloyd. But Lloyd, Jalen's probably got to pull that one in, but just put it on him.
And I know you know this as a defensive lineman. The frustrating thing is how easily he moves in the pocket to make guys miss.
Yeah, how about his slide game?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, even another play I'll break down, but when he steps in the pocket, when he gets that one over the seam to Borkacher, that DN come on the backside, beats Turner Corcoran and reaches, but just enough step up in the pocket. His feel is fantastic in the pocket.
When's the last time you've seen a young guy climb the pocket like that in big boy football?
They don't do it.
They don't.
With the criticism.
No, you go out, you scramble out.
It's very rare
You scramble
to see
out,
young
and you limit your
climb the
vision
pocket.
over the
He knows what
field.
he's doing.
You know, you got to climb the pocket so you get the whole field and keep the timing up. But yeah, it's he does not. I keep calling him a true freshman. He's not playing like a true freshman right now. He's playing like a third year starter.
Kind of down to 2 running backs now with the Oars. Talk about what Dowdell's done so far, and Ramir, as they call him a changeup, but he's kind of the starter in a way.
And I mean, I talked to Coach Barthel before the game, and Ramirez clearly seeing it well. His vision, his ability to hit creases. You know, he had the long run called back. He still possesses that breakaway speed, but Dowdell is kind of becoming that hammer. The way that I like to describe him is he's the guy that's running down the hallway. He's not going to move to the right. He's not going to move to the left.
Right.
He's just going to sprint down that hallway as fast as he can. And I felt like, to his credit and to Coach Barthel, he's kind of added he's a little more sudden than he was in the spring. He was always a straight line runner, right? Like needed a hole, but he's hitting it so hard. Yeah. He's climbing on your toes as a defender before you get a chance to think, right? He could have made Shiloh miss.
Oh, yeah.
But he wanted to lower boom, and it set the tone.
That first touchdown, and let's talk about the offensive line, how well they blocked on that touchdown run. But a third member of kind of the running game is Ja'Cory Barney, with some of the things they do as well.
Yeah, with the motion, the jet sweep, how you like to utilize him, and he's electric. He's explosive. He's a home run hitter, and they can use him in all sorts of things. And when you got those big body guys on the edge, but you throw him in as a changeup, that guy that's the Florida guy with the speed and can go from 0 to 60 in a blink of an eye. It's a nice changeup to what Nebraska wants to do offensively.
I'm greedy, so on those crossing routes, those little shallow crosses, just get back vertical, because you can crease that thing. Instead of trying to make it a foot race across the field, first of all, it's hard on your blockers.
Yeah.
But number 2, just get back vertical, because that thing will part like the Red Sea. Just put your foot in the dirt and get back vertical, and he will bump his head on the goalpost quite a few times. He'll come out of the back.
Late in the game, he actually did that and tried to break through and almost got through, just got tripped up. Last thing before we get to the highlights, special teams obviously is a concern. Missed field goal, blocked punt, long return, knowing you have to keep the ball in the end zone against them. Thoughts on special teams?
Yeah, it is definitely a work in progress. Coach Rule mints no words. It is the worst that he's seen, and that's saying something, and it starts with the basics, right? You have to be able to snap the ball. It's a timing deal. Then you have to have confidence, right? From which hash to which hash. And then punting direction. For Buschini to hit the ball as well as he had, they're still 99th in net punting, which has got to get a little bit better, but he has been good inside the 20.
Yes.
Which is impressive. So if I'm looking to keep my glass half full, the return game, they're going to get one before the year is over. I like the aggressiveness in the return game.
Yeah, you got to give credit to IGC of scooping it up.
And Bernie. Those guys are, those guys want to have.
As poor as it was, they blocked a field goal as well.
They did.
So you got to give.
And should have got another.
Yes,
yeah.
I agree.
Low trajectory, that's what he does. We saw it coming.
Why kick that?
Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
Hey, I'm glad they did.
Let's check out the tape now and look at some of the highlights from Saturday's big game, where pretty much everyone, including Jay Moore, had a really good time at the game. The tunnel walk was spectacular, too. Nebraska knows how to do things with having a 94 team come in and everything else. It was great. Early on, you knew right away, third play of the game, sacked by Ty Robinson, taking down Shedeur Sanders. I actually, at one point in the game, I felt sorry for the kid.
I did too.
I felt sorry for him.
I did too.
Because he was taking so much
terrible,
punish.
but as a father watching your kid just get pummeled on the sidelines is tough.
And here's something that we hadn't seen yet from Dylan. He runs now.
That was
he played
huge.
baseball. He's a slide.
Yeah,
that was a third down, extends the drive, the first drive that leads to a score here. And big shots all day by Colorado.
Yeah, they would hit.
They did.
That was a physical football game.
But Barney hopped right up.
That one.
He did.
He hopped right up.
He ended up with 6 receptions for 29 yards, by the way. Dowdell ran physical. That last run was the great blocked one I talked about. And Dowdell, when he hits you, you stay hit. 2 guys got knocked out of the game in that game. They were already shorthanded defensively.
There's that hallway run.
Look at that.
Right? Just no
beautiful.
real room. See the crease, be the crease.
Yep.
Beautiful to see. Here's another sack, this time by Nash, who gets in there and gets it all day long. That's what you saw in his face. And then here, every time they tried so far this season to go for 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1, they've struggled. And then we showed this earlier. Brian Buschini kicks it down, goes out at the 2-yard line, puts them in a tough spot. And these are the hidden yardage you don't talk enough about, when this kind of thing happens. When you talk about net punting. And then, Jay, you're going to break this down coming up.
Yeah, just perfect. I mean, like I said, just staying flat-footed. Was no reason to get back. He had safety help behind him as well. Just vision on the quarterback, long throw.
It's just great coverage. I think they just baited him.
Yeah, and they obviously wanted to go to Hunter there in the slot, but they did a good job of getting space, letting them get stacked, let them evolve, and then play off of him. And Bullock was right there, man. He played it perfectly.
Sometimes guys drop that ball.
That was
He showed wide receiver skills. Yeah. Here's a missed field goal, 32 yards. One of those ones where you just got to say to yourself, it seems like a confidence thing more than anything else, because I know the kid can kick.
Yeah.
So you just got to get that confidence back inside there. And then another sack. Here's the guy you were talking about. That's actually coming off the bench, right? That's the guy coming off the bench. But MJ Sherman earlier got a sack as well as one of the 6 sacks on the day with a loss of over 40 yards. And then here's the movement you were talking about, right? He's in the pocket, being able to move, got some fine spots. This ended up being a pass interference or holding. And so Nebraska ended up getting the first down on the holding for that one. And then here again, moving in the pocket and finding the opening and underthrown, but Jalen Lloyd did a great job coming back.
Yeah, he's just so savvy in the pocket. And I think the receivers are starting to understand, I'm always available with this guy at quarterback.
Yeah. Don't do that, according to Coach Rule. Don't reach out. Dowdell reached out, but he ended up getting the touchdown there. He fumbled it, but after he had crossed, so Coach does not like that at all. And here, Sanders made some good throws on the day, right?
He did. That's a good throw. And that was their changeup. They did it to both sides out of the 3-by. They were looking to, try to get hot there. They went back-to-back. They just flipped the play, and they ended up getting a field goal opportunity out of it.
And here's the block field goal. It's an argument between Ty Robinson on Nash, who got it. I think it was more Ty looking at it, but Hutmacher might have gotten a piece of it as well. Sanders did have a good day, 23 of 38, 244. He had that bad pick, but he had the touchdown throw as well. Here's one of the many times that Colorado really hit Nebraska pretty hard. And then, as Damon said earlier, a little bit of luck. Amir Johnson gets the ball off the tip, takes it in for the touchdown to make it 28-0 at that point. And that would be all the scoring that Nebraska would need. Do you think it was more of them holding back what they were doing offensively, or just a matter of the penalties taking away so many big plays?
Well, I think, listen, I get what Nebraska's trying to do and went out on the perimeter. Right? Colorado did a good job of whipping him on the edges a little bit. You heard some of the chastising talk from the wide receivers. But I don't think they took the air out of it. I thought they tried to be aggressive. They ran the ball 9 times for 51 yards in the 3rd quarter, completed 7 of 10 passes for 44 yards, and he had the ball 9.5 minutes. They should be fine.
Here's one of the good plays again by Bayer, knocking the ball down there on the scramble, 28-3 at that point after the field goal is made. And then more Sanders taking pressure. This time Princewell comes in, hits him twice, once on the side of the head, and then gets the sack as well. He had a sack earlier that was
the hardest hit of the night, and it was negated.
And it was negated by a penalty.
That one's going to leave a mark.
Offside by James Williams, what they called it. We're going to break down a couple other plays too. Jay will be getting into those soon. The Borkenshire catch down the middle. And then that was a short one where Nebraska ended up having to go to 4th down. And the pooch punt. Got a little some backspin on this one.
Yeah, Jay can speak to that, trying to get that backspin. Maybe he needed like a 56 or a 60 degree.
Yeah, definitely wedge in there. And there's another time. Every time so far this season, it seems that Colorado's tried to get a 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1. They've gotten beat up front, and Nebraska did it to them again. Block punt. That was one you got to make that block. You got to see him coming.
You do. You step inside, and it's just that's the basics.
Hayden's longest run of the day right there for 17 yards. He's probably going to be out this week because Nebraska beat him up pretty good towards the end. Good throw by Sanders to get down there, 21 yards. And then here's the play where they missed the holding call. Princewell was held. And then here's why Bayer will miss the first half of the Northern Iowa game, because they called this targeting.
Yeah.
It was a second half play.
Didn't love the mechanics. It is what it is.
Yeah. And then the touchdown pass here, eventually they would get some. But the fact that they didn't have a play over 27 yards it was a key because this is a team that makes a bunch of big plays, and they couldn't get big plays.
Only one touchdown. That's incredible.
Only one touchdown. And then the last sack right there, the one play that Willis McGahee, the fourth, makes, he comes in and gets a strip fumble. Everyone contributing. Final stats now, absolute domination by Nebraska. 149 rushing yards. You see what they did overall. Again, no turnovers. They're winning the turnover battle for the net over the course of the season. They're up 3-1. And you look overall at the time possession as well. So it looks pretty good right there. We'll head over.
Electric, I mean, again, the crowd noise was fantastic. The energy was fantastic. Our players fed off that. And I think it's in this modern era of communication, all that, it's really hard to play in an atmosphere like that. So, thank you to the student section. They were there early. Thank you to our fans. It was really a special night.
Yeah, he literally said we're still undefeated against Colorado. So it was like, oh, that's the first thing you said, Dad? Awesome. So yeah, it was good. I'm just glad we won.
There's a lot of guys that got picked. John Bullock gets player of the game on defense, and we picked 2 defensive players this week with Tommy Hill having the pick 6 as well. As a number. Bayer could have gotten in here as well.
MJ Sherman, Ty Robinson.
Right. Brian Buschini.
A lot of guys played well. I do like the Bullock, though. He's been incredible.
He was all over the place, and as I always say, the kid doesn't have a neck anymore.
Yeah, well, the elevator goes nowhere near the top, right? He's a couple sandwiches short of a picnic, and
Nothing wrong with that. Time to dive into the playbook again. We go back into the huddle with Jay Moore.
All right, we're going to start with an offensive play tonight. This nice seam route here that Dylan Royale has Boergertrude on. This is a play that Peyton Manning, Dallas Clark made a living on with the Colts. Just a little, too high look by Colorado. Just inside the numbers here. Watch Dylan Royale's eyes early, how he kind of sets this thing up. He's balls to the boundary. He's looking field side of that field safety, trying to hold them here to create that gap for Boergertrude to get into. You don't see a lot of true freshmen kind of play with this savvy early in their career. He's got it right now, but also we talked about him stepping up in the pocket, being comfortable doing that. Edge guy here is going to be able to step up and watch this. And you can see vision now, right? The vision, now he got him off the safety. He's going to be looking at the seam. Edge guy almost gets there, but the feel in the pocket to step up to make this throw right on the money. Boergertrude does a good job. Second and long, they get it. They get the first down. All right, pick 6 play that really set this game apart. All right, they're going to get down here in a stack look. A lot of times you do a stack look, you got to give them space, right? You don't want to get too close, otherwise you start knocking yourself off on the route. So they got to get space here. So they do a good job initially. They're going to keep 2 guys in, 7 guys in protection, right? Tight end back, only 3 guys in the route. We got 6 guys in coverage. So I run this. Bullock right here, highlight him. He just goes ahead and runs a route, right, for Hunter. Sits right there, knows him. He even tries to move for him. Bullock knows right there, plays with him. Now, you got the Sherman coming up, gets held. When I talk about pressure rush, right, with the back staying in, Bayer's coming up. So it's already bringing more heat, right? So now he's got to get the ball out. Otherwise, it's going to be a sack, safety. But now, with safety helping behind him, Tommy Hill can stay flat-footed, vision on the quarterback, makes a play on the ball. Boom. 6 points for Big Red. Good guys. Great play.
Nice play.
Jay, I think it's fantastic too, right? It's a numbers game, and if you can count to 5, you should be able to play football. And you have 2 safeties sitting over the top. You've got a little robber playing underneath, low hole, or kind of taking away the quick look in. But they have 6 for 3
right.
in essence.
Yeah.
When you can't run the ball, it is literally stealing.
It is.
I mean, it was just they were patient, right? You didn't have nothing to worry about. There was no one taking the top off. There was you worked right in front. Everything was in front of you. And you worked with it.
They didn't have time to take the top off.
Right.
I think if they wanted to run the quick game out of the end zone, he had to go
to the boundary.
Take the hitch to the boundary.
Yep.
No doubt about that. Next up on the show, we'll hear this week's reactions from the coaches in the Colorado game. And we're also joined by former assistant coach Bill Busch. All right, time for best of social media. This picture is awesome. Old school string staff, great mustache, great suit. FR Helmet Guy says, never knew that Ron Burgundy was the head of strength and conditioning coach for Nebraska football in 1980. That is an awesome picture.
Yeah, that's Mike Arthur and Boyd Epley.
And Boyd Epley, that's awesome.
Point you pick out from Mike Arthur is a legend.
It's pretty awesome. And then Damon Benning with the red balloon. A lot of strange things make their way up into the booth tonight, and one of the balloons made its way.
I don't even know, the Sharpie likes the window open and the balloon just comes trickling, and I thought it was going to be a good omen.
That's good luck right there. And last, Brian Fisher, is Texas back? Is Nebraska back? Is Miami back? Are we in the 90s? Are the 90s back? That's a good call. We'll take the 90s back. It was 90s were pretty cool.
Although Texas wasn't good in the 90s.
Yeah, Texas wasn't good for a lot of times. Yeah, they're like Michigan. We talk about them being good.
I'll take the other two.
Let's get to the Big Red Report.
So much on the film from this past game that we're like, we have to get corrected and get better at. That I think that speaks for itself. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we come here to have high expectations, right? You come here to play in big games. You come here to play in front of that crowd. So you get all the reasons why you come here. So we expect to be ranked, but whatever it is, 23rd, 24th, that's not where we want to end up. So go 1-0 each week and see what happens.
Just means we're not going to slow down. Like, we're not going to slow down and call a game. Not passively, but a little less aggressive, because Dylan's a freshman. Dylan works his butt off, and he can handle a lot of stuff. The other guys around him need to pick it up.
I told the offense a lot of them have to pick their intensity up to his level, not the other way around. He's trying to throw the ball to guys that are supposed to be in certain places and they're not there. He's at a whole other level, and those other guys better pick it up. That's said respectfully and with love. And I only say that because you guys sometimes ask me, like, hey, did you not throw it as much in the second half because of him? No, because of everyone else.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of keep leveling up, and as a quarterback, and we understand in our room that that's a standard, and I think that the standard should be acknowledged, but I don't think it should be celebrated.
The execution, like Tommy Hill had a great pick six, but if you watch the tape, I think it's Travis. Travis Hunter runs like a spot route, and Bullock takes it away. And he tries to go inside, and Bullock slides inside. Bullock played an amazing game. And so then the quarterback goes out late to Tommy, and Tommy picks it. And so the guys on defense, I think, really understand, I can't do what I do unless you do what you do.
Oh, it's pretty electric. That was. I mean, this place is already special, and just there was a different energy there. I mean, with the 94 squad, I mean, the students were awesome. Looking back at the film, there's times where their offensive line, they were totally discombobulated. You can see. So I truly believe that just the atmosphere, the crowd had a huge effect on those guys.
I hate it. I mean, I hate it. If it was up to me, we'd play at 9 o'clock in the morning. Kegs and eggs and football. Let's go.
I've been staring off over here.
All right, welcome back to the show. We are pleased to be joined by former Husker assistant coach and local legend Bill Busch. Coach, how you doing?
Oh, I'm great. It's so kind of you guys to have me on. Like I said, always enjoy watching this show every single week, and obviously having a history, obviously, with you, Michael, and then these two great players being around to be here on the staff to coach both of them. Didn't coach them directly, but be on the staff with them is really, really cool. So thank you, State of Nebraska. Very cool to have me on.
Coach, I know both these gentlemen had a good time on Saturday, calling the game and doing other things during the game. What about you? Did you have a good time on Saturday?
Yes, it was. The energy and electricity was great. I'm not going to lie to you that I wasn't there. I've been to one game in my since I started coaching Division I football, 34 years of. I've been to one in the stands. Wow. And it really wasn't that great of an experience like that. So I kind of stay out of that. So I'm not anti-Nebraska. I watched it in my garage. That's where it was at. But it was fun to listen to the volume on the garage. You could tell what was going on, the difference. And we had this conversation a lot on the radio too. That is such an advantage. The volume is such an advantage for pass rushers, as Jay would talk about. When they're not sure when that ball's being snapped, you knew that was going to be a big factor, and the defense can really affect it. Because if you go back in the day, way back when, almost just a little bit pre-Jay also, there was times in the quarterback used to walk back from walk
They
back
called
and
a
say,
penalty.
hey, it's too loud.
Yep.
And they would go like this.
Yep.
There's none of that anymore. And so the home crowd advantage and the fandom of Nebraska is a huge, huge, huge factor.
No doubt.
You've been in some electric environments as a coach. You gotta speak a little bit. Let the audience know what it's like to manage your emotions, because I think sometimes people think, oh, it's electric and you get geared up, but sometimes managing those endorphins and kind of how you're like super fatigued after and just pacing yourself with the environment is difficult.
It really is. As a coach, you have to do it also. And, the big thing is always to keep the game the same. Make sure that your players don't get out early and don't do any extra warm-ups, because there's so much energy. You can't spend any energy except your warm-up from UTEP should be identical to Colorado. Mm-hmm. So all those things are so important. And then as a coach, too, not to do things emotionally, blitz emotionally, make a call emotionally for what's going on. So you want to kind of have yourself in this state of affairs in your mind. But it's also exciting. There's no doubt about it. It's like, you only get 12 guaranteed. So when you play in some of these atmospheres, it's really, really good. And that was a big time atmosphere, not one that was a big time atmosphere for the Midwest or for the Big Ten. That was a national big time. I've been in all those venues in the SEC, and that one Saturday night was the same as what it is.
Similar as you've been in, Nebraska history, the history with Colorado. Obviously, you've coached in this game many, many times back in the Big 12 when we were there. Same emotions getting ready for this game as well, though, because this game used to be on a Friday night or a Friday after Thanksgiving, but the emotions going into this game, because big former Big 8 rivals, right? Big 12 North, approaching it the same way has to be kind of the same, like you talked
exactly
about.
The same.
Right?
You just do detail, practice the same. Nothing's different. There's not a conversation. It's all about how do we stay as focused with what we have to say? And it's never like we're just going to get, we're going to be higher on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we're going to be higher, then we get to Saturday, we're going to explode. Yeah, you'll be able to take off when the ball snapped on Saturday, when the foot hits the ball. But prior to that, it's just nothing but your normal preparation. It's hard. And don't think that for a second you don't know the difference of a game to be able to play it. There is. I've been on some staffs where it's very clear that it is different. Urban Meyer at Ohio State and at Utah, BYU game was different. The Michigan game was different. He said it out loud. And so it was a different type of thing. But you want to keep things in check. But it was, like I said, the players, in my mind, I didn't see any of it. I saw those guys laser focused. And so that goes back to Coach Rule and the staff having them ready to go.
Yeah. When you see a talent like Dylan Raiola, does it change the way you do the other facets of your game, knowing what you potentially have in a quarterback like that?
Everything you do on defense, you're the coordinator, you're seeing what he's doing. And one of the things that stood out to me right away that would have concerned me instantly was his scramble, I think the first or second series for about a 15-yard gain. Because right away it's like, okay, he obviously has the ability to scramble, doesn't have a lot of those things on film. But once you saw that, it's like now there's escapability along with everything else. That's a high concern for a defensive coordinator when you're making your calls with what you're going to do and have things to be able to change the picture in the back end of what's going on to show them a little different look in coverage-wise. But you're not going to have a lot of crazy looks against Nebraska because they can run the football and they've got old guys up front, and I use the term mass kicks ass. So when they got those guys up front, they can do that. You're not sitting back in a lot of cover too high because of that. So that changes the different looks you can give him.
Getting that T-shirt made.
Right. I was going to say, preparing for this offense because we didn't know what it was quite going to look like for Raiola as being a true freshman, but very balanced so far. Nebraska's thrown almost 240, averaging 240 through 2 games, 185 yards on the ground. We're trying to prepare for this type of offense from the defensive mentality. Talk us through that just with the young quarterback, but knowing the weapons he has around him, Dylan as well.
Multiple groupings are what cause your problems, which means you see the tight end of Fedoni, you see the tight ends break the formation, and they're back in the formation. And when you have different ways, and then in their run game, they have gap schemes, and then they have zone schemes, and they have different schemes that causes you problems. And so anytime when there's multiple tight ends can get back into the formation and you can pull the Y or the U to get involved in the run fits, it's very, very difficult. It's one of the things that we've talked about on Colorado is what's not difficult is they're generally in a 10 picture, which means everyone's detached and they don't pull anybody. And so the run game and the fits are very easy.
Yeah, right.
When there's pullers and gap schemes, and Tim, you ran all the counters at Nebraska, you ran all these things, and also there's no option at Colorado. So when there's no option football, also you're prepared for the old school Nebraska of all these gap schemes and option football. It was a wow all the time. And so those things would stand out to you.
Yeah, they're pretty plain Jane. Mitch from Facebook says, your thoughts on the Big 12 officials and the job they did?
I said, I think I can say it on air, right?
Sure.
It wasn't very good.
Nobody's going to find you.
I'm in a group text with my good friends, Jake Sorensen and Steve Sipple, and I said, I'm not sure if these guys will work again. Yeah. But there was, I would say this, there was some both ways.
Yes, there was.
It wasn't 100% just, but if I'm a Nebraska fan, there's plays I saw that were very clear that were disturbing. There were some that went back the other way too. So when the game was kind of over or it was going on, I didn't think that it was such an effect on the game with what was happening. But there was some calls that were very unusual on some holdings and some holds that were missed.
Bill, go to the defensive side of the ball. Imagine being a D coordinator where you can get home with 4 all the time and keep 7 back.
Oh, isn't that fun?
The
Could
you imagine
stuff. I saw Nebraska was playing bracket coverage one time, then a version of 2, and different things you can do in the back end. When you're doing that, and also, like I talked about, there is no escapability with Shedeur. And so when
he doesn't want to run,
so
right?
you can play 2-man, which is man under 2 over the top.
Middle field open. He's not going anywhere.
He's not taking off. When you play 2-man against somebody that runs, all of a sudden he can run for 40 yards. And so you had to change your pass rush up. So all those everything's in play now. It's like, you like this? I like this. How about this one? And so you get a chance to match up on their good receivers and be able to do that.
I think one of the things that's underappreciated, and you can speak to this, playing those 2 inside linebacker spots with just 3 with limited protection in space. 5 in the box, quarterbacks are taught to count. There's a lot of pressure on those insides to be very, very good athletes. You have to defend the limited run game, and you have to be able to play out in space too, with just the 2.
It's very difficult, and most really good box teams, that's what you see. If they're short, ball's getting run.
Yeah.
That's just what's going on. If you're playing Colorado, you want to make them run it.
Yeah.
You want to do that. Also, if there's any form of zone read, you want to bend your ends like crazy and just see if Shedeur will keep the ball and will he carry it 10 times. Because on his action, he doesn't show that he wants to keep the ball off the zone read. So you get the bender off the end to gain an extra hat on the ball.
Coach, real quick, you coach special teams. Thoughts on some of those issues on Saturday?
Well, yeah, like you said, with the issue, there was a couple issues. There was a kickoff that got out, and there was a block punt. I believe the block punt was against Safe, so I think it was a big body player that gets in there, and big body players are very hard to block because you're used to blocking less mass at that time. Then all of a sudden, when that bigger body gets in there, that's very difficult. I know. One of those examples, I have tons of examples on film where we would show that to the punt team and be able to say, wow, if they get these guys up here and these defensive linemen are now coming after the ball, it's a way different picture. And so that's something that has to be attacked. But like I said, it's a very difficult position to be a coordinator. Coach Rule has a great plan for it there. Coach Foley have a great plan. So they have the players to be able to fix everything they need to get fixed.
Coach, we appreciate it. Thanks for coming on again.
Absolutely. That was a lot of fun. Thanks, guys.
Bill Busch, we appreciate him doing that. Up next, on the wrap-up, Sean will tell us about a new recruit and if any of the other commits can contribute like some of this year's freshman class. Sean Callahan to talk some recruiting. What a huge weekend, Sean. Absolutely a huge weekend, and a commit comes out of it.
Yeah, Nebraska hosted 42 visitors, Michael, that had offers in hand. To my knowledge, that's the most we've ever seen come in one weekend for Nebraska. But the Huskers pick up one commitment on the weekend, a big one locally. Christian Jones, Omaha West Side, arguably the #1 ranked prospect in the state of Nebraska, an All-American that will play in the All-American Bowl, the Polynesian Bowl, makes it official. He was offered as a freshman in high school by the previous Husker staff when he was at Burke. So this has been really a 4-year courtship by multiple different coaching staffs at Nebraska.
What position?
He's a linebacker, probably an inside linebacker. He's played edge over his career. He's played tight end. But I think he'll transition to that linebacker spot. You know, you saw Willis McGahee ready on the field making plays. There's no reason why Christian Jones can't come in and be that kind of player. And we know the staff is good at getting some of these guys like that on the field right away.
He's an explosive kid. Let's talk about the 2025 class.
Yeah, the remainder of the key targets for Nebraska for the class of 2025 were also on campus this weekend. And you go down the line of some of the big names. You had Cortez Mills here, an Oklahoma wide receiver commit out of Florida. You had Michael Terry, a #1 ranked athlete in the country as well, that was here on campus. And then Dawson Merritt, an Alabama linebacker. Jones ended up committing. When you talk about 2025 recruiting for Nebraska, those are probably the 4 primary targets out there. One of them committed. The other 3 are kind of long shots.
It'll be tough.
If they can get one of those 3, I think that would be a big get.
And some 2026 guys.
Yeah, then on 2026, wow. You talk about surrounding states, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Oklahoma. I mean, they had several of the top guys here. They had one of their top quarterbacks here, Michael Clayton, a 4-star out of Orlando Seminole. You had Jackson Cantwell out of Missouri. He's been here multiple times now. He is a 5-star offensive tackle, also the nation's top shot put thrower in track and field in the high school ranks.
Wow.
And then you had a number of other guys here as well, Walker and Utu. So, you know, in terms of high-profile 4- and 5-star guys, it was as big of a weekend, and Nebraska lived up to the billing, got the win, and had a magical night.
Let's talk about the future recruiters, Tyson Terry. We've been watching this kid since he was a freshman.
Yeah, Tyson Terry, Omaha North, will have a chance to be a 4-time heavyweight Class A state champion. That's never been done. He's never lost in his career as a heavyweight wrestler, just a dominant wrestler. And he's been a commit now to Nebraska over a year at Omaha North. He's a dominant defensive lineman on the interior, and you know, one of the leaders of this recruiting class. Just kind of a silent, tough guy. I know the coaching staff extremely high on his physicality, his toughness. It will be interesting to see how they grow and develop his body and kind of where they think he fits long-term in this defensive scheme.
He also didn't leave. He could have left there if he wanted to. Let's talk about in-state recruit this week.
Yeah, and then our final featured recruit tonight, Ryman Ziebert from Platteview, a 6'6" and a half tight end, 205 pounds. Had a Nebraska offer. The Huskers kind of went in a different direction. He committed to Stanford. He had Duke and Stanford as really his main finalists, I would say, in the recruiting process. And he chose the Cardinal, but a long athletic athlete, placed in the 400 meters, I think the last 2 years in the state track meet. So not only a big guy, he can run, played on a basketball team that was in the state tournament, and plays that premium position tight end where, for whatever reason, this part of the country produces a lot of high-level tight end recruits.
Plus, he's smart because he's going to Stanford.
Yeah, he's going to Stanford.
No doubt about it. Sean, we appreciate it.
Thanks.
We got Sideline Survey this week. Be sure to vote on the Sideline Survey question. Does Nebraska ranking 23, does it fit into which one of these? Is it too low? Is it too high? Is it just right? Or does it matter until November 5th? And right now, people picking the right one. It is just right, 23, highest since 2016. First ranking since 2019. Okay, we're going to get some of these questions. We got a lot of them, as you can imagine. One of the first ones from Richard on Facebook. Simply, are we this good, or is Colorado that bad?
You want me to answer that one? I think Nebraska's good. I think we're a good football team. I think this defense is legit. I think nationally, I think people finally see how good this defense is. And I think I was slow to judge how good Dylan was, just because true freshman playing against grown men, right? Mm-hmm. He's the real deal. So I think Nebraska is good. And Colorado was a 4-8 football team last year, but I think they're improved as well.
Yeah, if you just pick a number and say Nebraska's capable of being an 8, I still only think they're playing at about a 5 or a 6. There's plenty of room for growth.
Right.
But this is still a really good football team. Like, it's okay to say that out loud and unapologetically. Like, it's time to next level demand excellence because this is a good football team.
I got too quickly into the questions. We do need to check out some of the best game day photos that were since the weekend because we give awards, we give stuff out for that. So we definitely need to get to those. Let's run through those if we can go back to that. No, never mind then. We won't do that. Sean, how important is it to win on a big recruiting weekend? Does it really matter? That's some of the questions.
I think it does, especially with the 2026 and even the 2027s, because you're trying to put something in their head when they're here to want them to come back. And, you get maybe one opportunity, sometimes two, on a younger junior in high school or sophomore, and you want to leave the ultimate impression. I think the game for Nebraska on Saturday did that. You had top players from Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, South Dakota, all the surrounding states, Colorado, that were all on campus for the class of 2026, even 2027. And I think that's going to go a long, long way in closing out some of those future recruiting classes, especially when you can showcase a guy like Dylan Raiola and what this offense can be as it continues to grow with him at quarterback.
I know, Damon, you've had some asthma stuff as a player. They mentioned that Dowdell has some of that as well. How do you manage that when you're out there playing?
Preventative, right? So I was an albuterol guy, a little Ventolin as I got older, but it was exercise induced. But for me, it was mind over matter, right? I didn't, I'm a knucklehead. I didn't seem to mind, so it never mattered. But as I've gotten older, I'm much more aware of it when I don't feel great. But for him, I mean, listen, he runs really hard.
Yes.
So you give him his 10, 11 carries, let him come take a breather, give him another 5, he'll be good to go.
So here's one question. We got a couple different people. 23 right now. Prediction, will Nebraska remain ranked the rest of the season?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's trending.
It's a bold statement. Because if they're 8-4, they're right on the edge. So you're thinking maybe 9-3 for end of the season.
Yeah, I don't love Wisconsin, and I think Iowa will be a toss-up. So
yeah.
And Rutgers and Indiana all of a sudden look a lot tougher.
They like to score.
So there's 2 games in there that I'm worried about that nobody else was. I was always bothered by Purdue, and I'm really bothered by Indiana. I know it sounds weird.
No, I believe you.
But those are the 2 games. It's the first roadie for Nebraska at Purdue.
Yep.
And Indiana is going to be sneaky good, and Cignetti is tough.
Yeah.
He's a tough-minded, confident coach.
It is coming off a bye, which is great, but it is also before Ohio State.
I don't love the bye before Indiana because it's a sleepy game to begin with.
Yeah. The toughest one for you remaining? USC all of a sudden becomes, along with Ohio State.
But I like them to begin with. That's a good football team.
Yeah, I didn't know. USC was, I had question marks about them just because I didn't know what the defense was going to look like in the quarterback play as well. But listen, they're the real deal. That's a good football team. Obviously, Ohio State. Yeah, Illinois has slightly surprised me as well, getting that win against Kansas.
I watched that whole game today, and Kansas turned
it all
4 times,
over.
And they also had a touchdown call back, and they had a stoppage in the red zone. I mean, they should have had a lot more.
I do like Illinois' gap scheme. But
they had good running backs.
Nebraska's built for this with this front.
I completely agree. Do you have outside of Ohio State, now USC, who was your trap game?
I mean, I've always thought Rutgers just because how physical they'll play, and they'll get after Raiola. They'll put a pass rush on him, and Raiola, he took some hits this week, but somebody's going to hit him hard.
They just don't turn you over enough, right? But they
and Schiano had that as reputation as turning people over, not so far at Rutgers.
They got to get home, but Monangai can run the football.
They play Virginia Tech
in
2 weeks, Rutgers.
Yeah.
See, we'll know.
And that's going to be kind of the game that if they're going to be either a 7-win or maybe an 8-9 win team if they beat Virginia Tech.
Right, that's huge for them. This is for you, Damon. Tim asks, why are our ball handlers not carrying the ball in the arm closer to the sideline when running the ball?
Yeah, it drives Coach Barthel crazy. But especially because they're so good along the sidelines going into contact, you always want the arm closest to the defender to be able to execute your lift drill. But I think sometimes it's just a level of comfortability. And those guys got to get in a little bit better rhythm. It's going to be hard. You may only get about 18, 19 carries max on any given week. So I think being on demand is a lot more difficult than just hitting it on the remote control. Right?
Michael wants to know if you're defensive coordinator, who do you put your number one corner on at this point? Is it Banks? Is it Nayor? Who do you put it on?
Ooh, that's tough.
Barney.
Barney. He mentioned Barney.
There's
Yeah.
some weapons. I think right now, God, they're both tough. I mean, it's just how they want to utilize them. They've done everything with all three wide receivers.
You
Screen
you
game.
can't really pick Barney though because he's not really an outside guy.
No,
yet.
he's inside. So he's
an
definitely
inside guy.
He's a slot guy. I think Nayor is probably your number one guy right now. It seems like
Barney gets a lot of favorable
I think
matchups.
Nayor is probably the most comfortable. It's through 2 games, right? And they're tough, man. Those are 2 big body guys. You're just have to pick your poison. Which one you want to go after?
I think that's why the staff was so hard on Nebraska's wide receivers because I think going into this game, and you could tell by the play designs with the bubble screens, the smokes, the flares, they felt like their big guys could win out on the perimeter, and Colorado got busy.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter played that 2-on-1 perfectly.
Listen,
Bonner blocked well, though. You go back and look Bonner.
And Kinsley, 8. Was it McKinley?
Yeah.
He's tough.
He is. Yeah.
So, I mean, winning one-on-one with those guys out in space, it looks good when you're an offensive coordinator and you're like, you just draw the little line and it blocks that guy.
Yeah.
But to do it real time is tough in space.
So you've been covering this team for a long time. The depth right now on defense as good as in the last 10, 15 years. So look at all the young guys that are playing.
It's a combination of the COVID year with all those guys coming back and then the recruiting and the development. And it's all just put together this perfect puzzle when you look at how this group has been put together with what they've returned, what they've added, and then the freshmen and younger players they've been able to plug into this scheme.
You're not worried about the second team coming in. Well,
No.
You don't even know who the second team is.
No, and,
right?
and it's different day to day, and I can tell you that firsthand. Right? It's like, I mean, they have a lot of good young guys. I mean, between Shavers and McGahee and Amari Sanders and Benning, and they could turn it over quick because they play 7 seniors and they'll probably lose another. But I like what Sean said. It's a rare combination of older
24-year-olds and
18-year-olds guys, and then there's like no middle ground.
Look at Bayer being suspended for the first half. Is a debate on who the next best guy is. They have that much
I would
depth.
imagine Stefan will get the nod
because he's the veteran.
But this is what's happening in the secondary too. Like if you're going to play the long game and you were just going to go young, it would be Shavers.
Right.
But if you're going to try to patch the gap or plug the hole in the meantime, you probably go with Stefan.
Yeah. Since we're talking about this Colorado game a little bit, you guys think Deion's back next year? Because we had a couple of questions on here about Deion Sanders being back at Colorado after his son leaves.
I do not.
You don't?
Nor did I ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily he's going to go ahead and take an NFL job by any means.
Right.
I don't think that's what it is either.
I think he's just going to ride off into the sunset and just be like, you know what, I saw my sons get through college, and I'm just going to go, count my money from my Aflac commercials.
And of course, be able to watch his kids
Right.
in the NFL when they get there.
Yeah, how it ends though is what you want to know. If he will he leave on his own? Will this go badly? I mean, their schedule. When you look at after the Colorado State game,
You think they get to 6?
it's going to be hard.
I don't see it.
They're 9 Big 12 games. They don't have. I mean, I don't think there's an easy game in the Big 12. I think it's a real balanced league across the board right
And
now.
they got to stay healthy. They're thin to win, man. This isn't like some team can just roll out bodies.
Yeah, no doubt about that. MVP of the defensive line so far?
Oh, geez. Oh, God, that's tough. They're all playing so well. I think right now I'd say Ty. Ty, he's made some explosive plays. I'd lean Ty right now.
2 burning questions. Sean, you're up.
My burning question is, how will Nebraska get up for a game like this? Can they get a 4-quarter performance and another one where they can empty out the bench and get a lot more players in this week?
Burning question.
Mine's easy. You got to check the mirror and say, listen, are we good enough yet to take your foot off the gas?
Yeah.
They aren't. It doesn't. They just aren't. And they're going to have to answer to the big guy, too. Leave that alone. Just come out and step on the gas. You don't want to pay the cost to not be the boss after Saturday.
Yeah, special teams are going to be big this week. Heading to Big Ten play, their points are a premium, hidden yardage. They got to get it right. Get the return game going as well. I think that's my. If they can get that going this week, it'll be okay.
And my burning question is, can they get to half 100? I know the head coach doesn't like to run it up. Seriously, doesn't like to run it up. But I've been watching Northern Iowa stuff. They can get to a half 100 if they want to. Don't forget to head to our website or our Facebook page and check out the prediction. Jay, Damon, and I will tell you exactly what to expect on Saturday night against Northern Iowa. Kickoff is scheduled for 6:30 p.m. right there on BTN. I want to thank Bill Bush for joining us tonight. And of course, for Jay Moore and Damon Benning, Sean Callahan, I'm Michael Severe. We'll see you next week on Big Red Wrap Up.